I was also interested that the price is really affordable. I mean,
Yes.
you go to conferences sometime you pay $1,000, $2,000 or $3,000,
Yeah.
but this one's always under $1,000. I think it was $800, $900, something like that. And then you pay for hotel, and you get you pay for points with a flight, pay for flights with the points, and
it is a legitimate business expense.
It's a legitimate
I believe,
business
I'm not an
expense.
IRS expert, but I feel confident in it. I mean,
it's continuing education.
our sessions are truly, from sun up to almost sundown. Sometimes folks complain there's just not enough time to go from session to session, but it's truly one of those conferences where you're not like, oh, I'm going to miss this one. It's usually a case where you're deciding between two really great sessions. Do I want to talk about succession planning, or do I want to talk about optimizing profitability? Those are some big struggles. So yeah, it's real affordable.
Last year in Austin, I really felt like I didn't get out to see Austin much. Luckily, I went in 2 days ahead of time just so I could, because during the conference, I really just kept my nose to the grindstone. I remember a few years ago, it was in New Orleans, and I had a client I was meeting. I said, oh, we have afternoon conferences at PRSA. Let's just meet at 2 o'clock across the street. I didn't want to go meet them. I almost canceled because the sessions that were coming up I really hated to miss, and I felt so bad. Luckily, some of them are audio taped, and you can hear some of those. But there's nothing like being in the room, making the relationships, and it's just I'm shocked more people don't go. I tell people in Atlanta, you need to go to this, even though the sharing you would think might be cut down. But even Atlanta, a lot of us have gotten together informally for lunches and breakfast, and we share information. And for like succession, I called some people I met at PRSA, at Counselors Academy, and talking about how to long-term build people to join the management of the company, and invaluable information that I probably could have paid lawyers thousands of dollars or accountants for that same information, and it wouldn't have been as on the mark and cogent. So it's a great conference. We hope you all will be there. See you at Key West.
You can't afford not to be there, actually. It's a wonderful experience.
And what a venue, Key West, Florida. I've never been to Key West.
How have you never been to Key West?
I don't know, but I'm glad I'm curing that now. So
yeah, well, some of the best food you're ever going to taste is in Key West. We always very popular at the event are dine-arounds, which are informal dinners at different restaurants around town. So you really get in smaller groups and oftentimes get to talk to folks that you maybe haven't met during the conference. And there's some spectacular restaurants on the dine-around. But again, even after that, when you get back to the hotel and go to the bar, you'll find yourself there till 2 o'clock in the morning talking about P&L and rates and billability and profitability and new services you can be offering, and I guarantee you will come back to your firm a changed leader and energized with some great ideas to help you make more revenue and ensure your bottom line is robust.
Now, the drinks in the bar aren't part of the package. You have to.
That is correct.
You have to actually have someone like Mike pay for your drinks in that bar.
There you go.
Or a vendor. Sometimes a vendor will be happy to, a sponsor will be happy to pay for it.
The later it gets, the easier it is to pull out a credit card or put it on my room.
Some people fly in and get caught in traffic or don't get there in time, but I really recommend people get there early on Sunday, because there's particularly if it's your first conference, you don't want to miss the orientation session for the first timers. It's only an hour. They play a couple of games, but you really get to know a few people, and it's valuable to break down. When you first go to a conference for the first time and don't know everybody, they've really worked on that first session to make sure that people get to know people, that you kind of have an icebreaker, and you just form teams and bonds and little small groups, and then you walk into the first dinner and cocktail party, and I think it just sets the pace for a really great.
You already know people. It's great.
It's really super.